What the world hasn't figured out yet is living within one's means is the only thing one needs to do to eliminate the anxiety associated with their fee. The amount of people I know that make $283,000 a year and stress about money every day is staggering. It's because they live a $413,000 lifestyle. If you make $39,000 a year and you live a $23,000 lifestyle, you've won, especially if you're happy. And by the way, I say this from a place of knowledge.
You know people.
I, in every year of my 20s, post-school, did not make $100,000 a year. And when I was from 45 to 55 to 65, because my dad didn't pay me that much, I lived within those means and had savings. I got fortunate or unfortunate that I worked every minute. I didn't have the weekend to spend money on. I never wanted to impress anyone, so I didn't need to buy anything to impress. Everyone's vulnerability is they're trying to impress someone with the things they buy, which makes them buy things they don't need. To your point, it's been one of the more difficult ones in the last decade because the last decade's been fucking fantasy land. But the economy right now is much stronger than it was in 2008 and 9. It's much stronger than it was in the late 90s. It's much stronger. So you don't want to get caught in the delusion of what's happening, which is everyone's lost context of a 50-year window. Yes, if you compare it to 4 years ago, it's harder. But it's way easier than it was in 2008 and 9. It got real bad. People are losing jobs, people are unemployed.
Yeah.
Right now people are just dealing with inflation, but that's almost more just people aren't capable of managing their own money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like you don't have a job, it's just that you continue to have 4 streaming services when you're living paycheck to paycheck, and maybe 2 would be okay. Like Netflix and Hulu's okay. You don't need fucking HBO Max.
Yeah, that's putting it into perspective.
Yeah, so the reason that's good is now you're like, okay, wait a minute, because now it's like, even though you're like, I'm up for the challenge, it's like, oh shit, it's tough. It's not really tough. It's actually shit. I would actually argue it's way easier. With the way social media is, with the way information is, it's never been easier to be an entrepreneur, even in this softened economy.
Yeah.
Because the ease of the tools and the costs associated with the opportunity are outpacing the difficultness in the market.
That makes a lot of sense.
What is something that most people at this day and age is kind of blind to? Something that you're seeing that's obvious to you, but that other people are just not seeing at the moment.
That people's entitlement is destroying their happiness. I just don't understand how we got into this place where everyone thinks everyone owes them something.
It's true, and when you say that, I also just kind of feel guilty about it because I know that I have some of that as well.
By the way, all of us do. You can't be a human being without expecting things from your parents.
Yeah.
But boy, oh boy, does that lead to unhappiness.
What is the next step? I mean, I'm trying freaking anything, and I'm not in it. I want to make money. I want to be successful. There's no doubt about that.
But you want to be happy.
I'm not chasing them. Exactly. But I'm not
you don't want to buy
the money.
Yeah, not everybody wants to buy the jets, right? And by the way, let me actually this call-in show is gonna be great. If I didn't love what I do all 19 hours a day, then I wouldn't be talking shit about buying the jets. I got lucky that the thing that I love most is building big businesses.
Right.
If I loved, being an architect more than anything in life, and that's what I gravitated to, Legos and drawing when I was 6, 7, 9, 12, 13, instead of selling lemonade and selling flowers and selling baseball cards, then I would just be talking about becoming the greatest architect of all time. And that wouldn't have made me trillions, and that would have made me successful and rich, and I get it, but or very honestly, if I was wired, by the way, and this is why you like me so much, if I didn't have the DNA of a salesman and an entrepreneur, I would be a guidance counselor.
Right.
I live for, do you know how much money I leave on the table by giving you this, by doing what I'm doing right now? I'm leaving a lot of, and by the way, it's not because I'm such a great guy, it's because hearing you say that in the beginning of this call is a greater high for me than any deal I've ever closed in business. And that's not even close, by the way. Having another human being tell you that you're having a positive impact on their life, I promise you this, You're not coming to my funeral because I made $1.7 trillion in my career. You're coming to my funeral because I might have made you $1,700 more and tweaked you in a place where you had 49 more years of happiness.
Right.
Dude, honestly, this is very simple to answer your question, so I went on a little bit of rant. What do you like when you're not working? Build a business around that. Like what do you like? Yeah, like, I gotta tell you right now, this whole Vayner sports thing, I'm getting scared. I might shut it all down. I'm in love with it. Having these football players sit at VaynerMedia, John Toth yesterday, offensive lineman center for Kentucky, he's gonna be on the Packers in 6 months. It's the weirdest thing. Alvin Kamara is gonna rush for 137 yards on a Sunday, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's my dude. Like, it's crazy, and I love it. And watching AJ's happiness, he's not gonna make anywhere close to as much money as he did at VaynerMedia, but watching the happiness in his heart, like, what do you like? Surfing? What do you like? Like t-shirts? What do you like? Hip hop? Like, what do you like?
A thing that I like, to be honest, for a while it's like an extreme sport thing, but now what it is building people. Like, that's what I like. I like seeing other people.
So I think you know this. I'm very scared of the life coach business because I think people are ripping people off. So as long as you feel good about it, like, here's an idea. What about starting a club? Like, what about like, dude, there's so much shit you can do. Let me throw you rogue ass shit. Why don't you get a job at night at a restaurant where you tell the owner that you want to work as a bartender because you want to start a club in his restaurant or her restaurant every Wednesday night for aspiring entrepreneurs or for people that want to live better lives. So the exchange is, whom way overqualified for this job, I'm gonna work here 3 nights a week, and I'm gonna meet people that come here, and I'm gonna start a club in your restaurant. And then what you're gonna do is, once you test out what a club and a group together at a restaurant looks like, you may go then get investors or buy your own or save money or sell everything on eBay and get your own. Like, do shit is the answer. Do you understand?
Right, totally. And on that, the craziest shit about that, what you just said, is that today at 11:30, I actually orchestrated 3 weeks ago starting a club at my business, the company that I work at, and the first day of the club starts today. We're going into leadership, and I'm gonna do my best, help and learn from other people at the company who want to be bigger, who want to be better, who want to do more, not just to work.
Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Off of that, what just happened, when do you think the world's gonna realize that I'm actually a genie from a different planet? Like, that stuff freaks me out when stuff, like, so cool. Anyway, listen, my man, keep focusing on this. I like the vibe of your voice. That's one of the reasons I'm very big on tone and energy. That's why the call-in show is gonna be better, because when I read it, I don't have the tone. I can tell the goodness coming out of your mouth. I can feel it. Let me tell you this. It sounds like you're fairly young. How old are you, 29?
26.
Good. Patience, brother. Keep doing good, keep bringing people value, and don't think about what's in it for you. What's in it for you will happen when you are purely pushing to bring people value. Shit just happens.
Hell yeah.
And you've got time, brother. You've got 5 years. Do me a favor. Don't try to charge $1,000 a head or $500 a month. Do this. Just keep bringing value. And I'm telling you, for 5 years, online, offline, random, just keep bringing value. It will work itself out. You got a lot of time to cash in on doing that good move. If I could just get this room to post 4 times a day, one on LinkedIn, one on YouTube Shorts, because YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world after Google, and Shorts there do very well for search. So if somebody's the amount of people that search for mortgage information on YouTube is profound, so your short could show up. If I could just get this room to post 1 LinkedIn a day, 1 YouTube short, 1 Instagram, 1 TikTok, and reply to 3 people on Twitter when they search the term mortgage and they answer people's questions in the ethos, that would be a huge, remarkable accomplishment, so I'll focus on that for now.
Say that again.
YouTube Shorts, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, 1 a day on all those platforms. Facebook, that's a 5th, Facebook fan page, and then reply to 3 people on Twitter from your Twitter account by going to Twitter, searching the term mortgage rates, interest rate, you know the terms of your business, you know the things that people are asking. Search those things, hit enter, see people. I know what people think. They're like, well, I'm in Arizona, and it looks like this account's in, Philadelphia, but just keep building brand, keep building referral opportunities, just keep building, reply to people. This is how I built my Twitter. When I was not known by anyone, I went to Twitter in 2007. And I spent 5 to 9 hours a day while I was running a $50 million wine retail business because I wanted it. And instead of watching fucking Seinfeld at 8:30 at night, I had my phone next to me and kind of watched Thursday Night Football while I did it. And I replied to every single person in 2009 to 2011 that talked about wine in any shape or form. Headed to Napa, looked at their account, they live in Texas. My wine store can't even ship to Texas because of state laws. And I would say, here are the 3 wineries that you should go check out, enter. You know why? Because when that person appreciated it, they told their sister that lived in New York, a place I could sell. Like, what pisses me off about referral-based industries that shit or don't take social media serious is social media is word of mouth on steroids. In the business, Snap has a platform called Spotlight that is similar to these feeds. The reason I didn't bring it up a lot through here is I still think they're a step behind everything else. They're way further along than Be Real, and there is opportunity, but I think back to the question earlier, if we're gonna try to reach 18 to 35 to start really building out our lead for the next decade, that's a TikTok, Instagram game right now where you're gonna get much more dividends against the time allocation.
I needed that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Let me sneak 1 or 2 more in.
Okay.
Hi, darling.
Hi. I'm Fannie Mae West. And my problem is that I don't know much about social media.
Okay.
I need to be on there.
Email me.
I'm on there.
Yep.
I have people manning my social media, but just how it all works,
Yep.
I have no clue.
That's right.
And so I do videos. I do Fannie financial tips and all that.
Love.
But I'm not consistent.
Yep.
And with how to put it all together, how to make it work.
Yep.
The editing.
Yep.
Everybody looks so nice. And I'm like, I don't feel like I'm...
Fanny, you look nice.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
But I don't feel like I'm excited. I'm not...
Well, because you're not taking it serious. Fanny, if I told you you're gonna get 100 referrals from it, if you go 5 posts a day, every day, I have a funny feeling you'll be excited about it. Fanny wants to sell shit.
It's not that I'm not excited about social media. I think watching me maybe is not so trying to,
of course,
get the views and the watches and then...
Yeah, you don't want to get into the rat hole, the insecurities that come along with all of it.
Yeah, and the lighting and you know, for me, I don't want to look crazy. So
Well,
it's like, I gotta make sure...
When you say you don't want to look crazy, do you mean like you want it to look good, or you're worried that crazy shit's gonna come out of your mouth?
I want to make sure I look good when
Yep.
I'm on camera.
Yep.
And then that I'm saying the right, like the lighting. I did one and it was so dark. I was like, ooh, this is so bad.
Like, we have to get our self-esteem up. Fanny, like, listen, I respect when people want to look presentable and professional. Everybody gets to rock the way they want to. If I gave this talk this morning to the auto society, it'd be slightly different. Right? Like you've heard words I've said today that made it contextual to your industry, the housing market, right? So, but it would still be the general thesis. That's how I think about different social platforms. When you know TikTok's a little bit more fun and free, you could be a little more loose. Maybe you're not wearing your suit. Maybe that's where the bowling video goes. At first, at this level, where you don't have huge teams, and even 30, I don't laugh at 30 minutes. It is still work, you know? I don't mind when people post the same video every place. The one thing I always ask them is, please change all of the copy. A LinkedIn post with a video, you're gonna say different sentences than maybe something on Instagram or YouTube or TikTok. But once you get addicted to the growth of your business through this model, you will make the content contextual to the platform. And there's nuances. And again, what's cool is I talk, there's all my social handles. It's Garyvee everywhere. You can go right now to my TikTok and Instagram and see I have the same video, but you can see that I post-edited it differently and have different copy. I believe that the market, minimally this year, isn't gonna be a fiesta. I think we can all agree it's not gonna be on fire. I believe that people get scared in those environments. I believe people go on defense in those environments and actually go backwards. That anything that you have been doing that's been progressive the last 2 or 3 years, you actually go back to tried and true, right? We're not gonna do that. We've been doing a little social media, Gary, but now it's a little bit scarier. We're gonna go back to calling people, tried and true. I love when people go tried and true in dark times. That's when we get market share. Your competitors in every single one of your markets is gonna go backwards during this time. A little less $2,000 wine night to get referrals because they want that $2,000 because they're not sure if more money's coming in. This is your opportunity, you know why? What I'm asking you to do with social media costs $0. I'm not asking you to run ads. I'm asking you to know that we are now living in an era in social media that we have not seen since 2011, which means in 2011, you could post on a Facebook fan page and get a lot of people to see it and you paid nothing. For the first time since then, because of TikTok, and now every company has had to follow TikTok, because I'm sure at this point, somebody here, almost everybody here has been affected by their niece going viral on one post about, you know, their sunburn, or a friend putting out something silly about a dog getting 1 million views. It's giving you awareness without having to pay for it. That is the ultimate for us salespeople. Could you imagine being able to get a full page ad in a newspaper for free? Could you imagine running local commercials on television for free? Can you imagine getting radio reads by the 2 biggest radio stations in your town for free? That is what social media is. It requires you to do work, but what are we doing here if we're not working? People love to talk big game, and then they have to do it. We have to work. Nobody flew down here for kicks and giggles. If you decided to come down here, you're a worker. That's how I see it. That's what I like about giving a talk here. I'm not talking to everybody in this industry. People made the effort to be here. That means they're trying to make the effort to grow. My question is, when somebody who's consistently been right for 20 years about this stuff gives you the full blueprint, why you won't follow it? I'm always fascinated by that. And it goes back to my health and wellness thing, because it doesn't come natural. And that makes sense. This is the best opportunity to get serious about social because of the double dynamic of the organic reach is up for the first time in a decade, while this industry is about to go on heavy defense and you're gonna be able to pick up market share. I hope you take it serious. Thank you.
For those of us who are getting ready to start our monthly podcast,
yes,
are feeling resistance about it
because they're worried about what do people think about it.
I think that's part of it.
What's the other part?
I don't know. I'm curious on how else we can bust through other than wanting to pay, wanting the scarlet letters.
Dude, it's only scarlet letters. Like, you don't bust through on day one. If you do not love the process of what you're up to, you've already lost. It's true. This shit's hard. Like, what do you want? You want your first fucking podcast to be #1 on fucking iTunes? Who the fuck are you? Do you know what I mean? I mean, that's the part. You have to love it. I love when people shit on me. I love when I showed up to the tech world and like, the wine guy thinks he's gonna win this thing? Yep. Then I love going to Madison Avenue and being like, this Twitter, Business Week said Twitter boy tries to start an agency. I said, fuck yes. I'm about to do this TV show, right, on Apple, Planet of the Apps. Recode writes, Planet of the Apps has 4 celebrity mentors, Gwyneth Paltrow, will.i.am, Jessica Alba, and others. When I tell you that article made me so fucking happy, you gotta love the process, man. Like, you're gonna break through if you're good enough, and you won't break through if your show is shit. But you've got to try to figure out if you're shit or awesome.
Do you feel like you have to be an entertainer or a personality?
I think people have to listen to it. You either have to be massively entertaining or really know what the fuck you're talking about. And when you have both, you know what I mean? But there's plenty not massively charismatic, over-the-top assassins in what they do because they fucking know their craft and they say it their way. And by the way, maybe they are better off in I'm obsessed with getting everybody to understand you have to find your medium. Maybe you're a great writer. Maybe you're great in podcasting. Maybe you're in video. Maybe you cartoon it up like Hugh McLeod, who dominates this scene of the early days of South by. Like, you gotta find the way you communicate if you wanna communicate to the world. Don't do podcasting just because it's trending.
I am extremely, extremely confused in life.
Okay.
I do public speaking here and there. People invite me to speak.
Okay.
I'm in school full-time, taking 19 hours. I do real estate and I am making money. But
Okay.
I don't see any business coming to me. I don't see something that I love, and I'm trying everything, but just nothing is clicking.
So let's take a step back. First and foremost, bro, you're a salesman, right? Like it was in you, just like it was in me. Good thing about being a salesperson is it's a skill that always plays out, right? The other thing is you're 20 and you're lacking patience. You don't need it to come right this second. Like if I give you a good piece of advice, and you know this if you're following my stuff, I'm obsessed with patience. You don't have to have your eureka moment right now. You need to realize you're a salesperson, because that's clearly what you are based on the narrative you just painted. And what you should be doing is tasting a lot of different things, putting yourself in different rooms, different networks, consuming different content. You need to figure out what floats your boat. But by the way, it may just be the game of sales, and it may not matter what the product is, and that would be okay as well. But you don't have to figure out what your monster business is right this second. And you need to be thankful for having clearly really strong sales skills, because it is a survival tactic that will always work for you.
So you're saying just keep doing what I'm doing and hopefully something.
Keep doing what you're doing and be on the offense to try and learn new things in the world. Cooking, fucking tires, like I'm serious, yoga, meditation, like just keep putting yourself out there because something might grab your heart. Young entrepreneur, let me tell you something from old entrepreneur, which is I love the process of the work. I love the grind. I love the climb. You know, I love the idea of getting to buying the jets more so than buying the jets. It's the process. To delegate out what I love would defeat the purpose. Of course, I want to spend as much time with my family as possible, but that would be lying to my soul if I didn't do what I want to do. And what I want to do for a living is build organizations, build companies, create commerce, be a salesman, be a guidance counselor, HR character, social commentate and put out content. I would suffocate if I couldn't put out the work that's needed to accomplish the things that I want. The problem, young entrepreneur, especially when you're a young entrepreneur, is people want stuff, right? They want the bling bling here, right? They want the cool ass kicks. They want the car, they want the jet, not the jets. They want stuff. I don't want stuff. I want the sweat and the pain and the gratitude and the, happiness that comes along with the work. I want the work. I don't want the stuff. The loudest and best relationships never win. It's just what people that aren't winning think. It's the people that are the best that win. So
how do you prove
the market proves it for you. So let's go in detail. Like TechCrunch doesn't pick the winners, right? The Wall Street Journal doesn't pick the winners. 3 cool kids in the crowd don't pick the winners. The problem is everybody wants to be anointed a winner or best at what they do before they've actually done it. Let me just remind you and everybody else here. I built a business for 18 hours a day, every day, running a wine liquor store for 13 years every day before I ever had the audacity to come to something like this and talk. So let me tell you something amazing. If you're good enough, you will win. But if you are upset that somebody else's grandpappy got them ahead of you, then you're gonna lose. Everybody started ahead of me. I'm just catching up.
And then, so just how would you then balance being ambitious to being patient?
By recognizing you have no choice. Do you understand?
Yes.
I'm the most fucking ambitious and most patient person you've ever met, which is why I'm gonna win real big. Find your version of that. You have no choice. Who's gonna cry for you? What's the choice? Are you ambitious?
Yeah.
Awesome. I don't think you're as patient.
Yeah, that's the problem.
No shit. And the problem right now is that we're all living public lives and all this horse shit. This is what entrepreneurship and success looks like, fucking going to fucking Bali and fucking watches and private jets. It's all horse shit. Horse shit. But it's fucking with people's minds and they're getting impatient. I don't give a fuck what anybody else has. I'm focused on my shit. Start focusing on your shit. You're a young woman. How old are you?
27.
I'm gonna punch you in the face. You have your whole life in front of you. You know what I mean? Put your head down and do whatever this thing that you want to prove that you're the best at. Hardcore. If you actually spent all your time doing instead of dwelling, you'd be much further along.
Wow. So Gary, when do you know to transition from going from defense to offense?
I don't know, I try not to be on defense. But look, I think you should always be on offense. Offense is always the best defense, right? Like I always say to like people I mentor or my companies, I'm like, look, I'd rather win a basketball game 157 to 152, right? Like offense always, back to the top line revenue for the guy who had 3 businesses, offense always solves problems as long as your defense is not a complete disaster. So I just think offense is a very good mentality. And obviously it's a very clouds question, very up here. Like we've all got very different issues with that, but there is a trigger mindset. I'm always trying to stay on offense.